It's not true. For me, from my perspective and the way that I've seen people manage their careers, I feel it's one of the best jobs you possibly can get if you have, not only obviously if you have an interest in talent management or being an agent, it's critical, um, but it gives you a broad survey of how the industry works. There's this woman, Kate Lupo, who runs this entry-level Hollywood program, and she gives this great analogy of the agent, that's sort of the talent management agency side, is like the hub of the spoke. No one talks to each other outside of that, and everyone has to go through the agents, managers, mostly the agents. So you get to see a lot of how the business actually works. It is like Grand Central Station. It's like, when you're working on a film or TV set, being in the production department is the hub. Like everybody goes through, no one talks to each other. You have to ask them to ask the other person. Very similar, not quite as transactional, but the agency business. And plus now with them making enormous investments in sports management and sports and branding, and lifestyle brands, it really is, to me, it's, if I were starting out again, that's where I would go, because that's where my interests are. I enjoy the entirety of the business, and you get to learn it, and you get to learn it at a very high level. And part of it is, whether it's on our side or elsewhere, you'll see a lot of times you'll see an employer say must have 1 to 2 years agency experience. It's because it is there's one HR professional at one of the big agencies, I won't say who it is, but she refers to it as graduate school for entertainment, because you learn that much. It's a great learning curve, very steep, very exciting. Also, you're networking at a peer level, and so you're trained in a very good way to get a really solid understanding of the industry. And I think the biggest misconception with this path is, and when I pitch it to people, like, I don't want to be an agent. I'm like, most people aren't. They stay, they do their time, and they get kicked out. And the young man that was interested in TV writing, sometimes a route is to go in and understand and go, possibly get in like in whatever is TV, like in the TV lit department. Then you get to understand all the players, how it works, who's doing what. And so one of your clients, hey, you know what, they just got a job as a showrunner. They need an assistant. And you say, hey, boss man, Joe Smith just got a show and he needs an assistant. I'd love to go and apply for that job. And so a lot of it, people feed out of that program to all areas of the industry. So I think the biggest misconception is, like, I don't want to become an agent. Most people don't. I mean, most people don't want to become agents. Most people don't end up being agents that go through there, and because most people don't want to be agents. But if you want to be an agent, it's a great route to go for sure. Very, very competitive. You used to be competing with people with literally like JDs and MBAs, all vying for these awesome jobs that pay, $12.52 an hour. So again, super competitive, not necessary for everybody. But to me, it's one of the best ways as an entry point into the industry, depending on what your level of interest is.